Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently 9:50 a.m. on this freezing cold Tuesday morning. It is currently 12 degrees outside. And I was driving around listening to the Michelle Collins show on Radio Andy and drinking my first cup of coffee for the morning. Went to bed last night, right at about midnight. And I set my alarm. I'm like thinking to myself, did I go to bed earlier than midnight? I think I did actually. I think I went to bed about 11:30 and I set my alarm for like 12:30. And then I was laying there for like 10 or 15 minutes and I was talking to Alex. We were kind of like whispering to each other. We always do that late at night. We whisper to each other. The dogs in between us, they were being so sweet. And I said, let me fix this beanbag before I take off. And I said, I don't know if I want to get up. It was so cold last night, you guys. I was like, I don't know if I want to get up and go out into the cold and vlog, or if I want to just go to bed right now for the night and get up in the morning and vlog. And he said, well, whatever you think is best, babe. And so I laid there for like 10 minutes and I was like, I think I'm just going to go to sleep right now. So I went downstairs and I took my medicine because I usually do that after I vlog. And then I came back upstairs and I turned off my alarm. And look at the sunspot right there. Sun in the back of me. I turned off my alarm and then I went to bed. And I slept pretty much straight through the night. I woke up about 6 something and I was like dying of thirst. And so I walked downstairs and I have this favorite like mug. That was like my mom's mug when I was growing up. Well, one of her mugs. And it's like this clay mug. And water just tastes so much better in it. And I chugged like 2.5 full mugs of water. And it was delicioso. It was so good. And then I went back to sleep. And slept until about an hour ago, actually, till about 10 till 9 when Alex was leaving for work. And I got up and I was wide awake. And now I'm here vlogging with you beautiful people. I feel so happy and content right now. I don't even know how to explain it. I just feel very peaceful and serene. I really prefer to vlog at night, but I have to just say that getting a full night's sleep and getting up early when I do that is so fantastic for me. Yesterday I got up early, you guys know, and I vlogged yesterday. And I got so much done. I went and got my hair cut my appointment was at 3 o'clock yesterday. I didn't really get much done to it. I mean, you can't see it anyway because the lighting in here is so bad right now, but I only got it trimmed because I'm gonna grow it out a little bit longer, I think, for summer. Not like long, but just like a little bit longer. And it was funny because I took this picture in to my hairstylist of this this guy that I follow on Instagram. He's like one of the owners of Sir with Lisa Vanderpump. His name's like Guillaume Zapata. He's gorgeous. And he was like in Knots Landing back in the day. I like looked up his Wikipedia one day and I was like, he was in Knots Landing. And, but anyway, he and I have like the exact same hair color. But his hair's a little bit longer. It's like short in front, but then like a little bit longer everywhere else. And like my sides of my hair do not like lay down. Like they stick straight out because my hair is kind of like wiry like that. And when we got married, my hair wasn't necessarily long, but it was longer, and it was easier to style. And I kind of want that for this summer. What is going on here? So I showed her this picture, and I was like, do you think this is possible that I could do this? Because, you know, like when you take a picture of your hairstylist, sometimes they're like, yeah, okay. Like my ex is a hairstylist. I can remember he'd say, you know, people come in and they have like, you know, they want like this full body of hair with like 2 hairs. And it's like, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't possibly, you know, and they get mad because I can't do that for them. So I was like, realistically, tell me, like, I have the heat on high and it is so hot in here right now. I was like, realistically, tell me if I can do this. And she's like, oh yeah, you guys have the exact same hair. She was like, you have this, it looks like you have the same texture of hair. She was like, you could definitely do this. So I'm gonna be his twin this summer. No, he's in very good shape. But anyway, so I yesterday vlogged, and then I did my crumble cookie review, and then I went to Fresh Time and I did this video shopping at Fresh Time for my Peter Does Stuff channel. And then I'm trying to look at this because this is my bad battery. Remember how yesterday I said I was going to get rid of all of my bad batteries? Yeah, I didn't do that. So this is my bad battery, and I want to see at what minute mark it goes to the halfway mark. But I went to Fresh Time and I filmed a shopping video at Fresh Time, and then I came home and I filmed, I was going to film my Peterisms video first, but I filmed 2 drama videos back to back. Oh, I also filmed a booktube video talking about these 2 Blake Crouch books that I had read on my way home. I did like a vlog doing that. And then I was like uploading all of that, and then I'm getting ready to turn here in a second for those of you that like to watch the video. I know some of you just listen to it, but I'm getting ready to turn, so I won't be like hidden in the shadows in a second. But anyway, I did all that, and then I got ready and I went to my hair appointment, and then I came home and I did the Peterisms video, and I was done for the day, which was really nice. And then I had to go run a few errands, pick up my medicine, and it's always crazy to me whenever I'm up this early, like how many people, I mean, and I know some people are like, Peter, like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning is not really that early. Well, it is for me when I don't really get up that early. But so yeah, like I had everything done by like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was really nice, most of my stuff. And then I was uploading my other stuff. Alex called me on my way home from my hair appointment, and he and a friend of his, he'd been talking to his friend, and she wanted to go have dinner. So he was like, do you care if I have dinner? And I said, oh, I don't care, babe, because I have my literature group tonight. I had my literature meeting last night where we, you know, do our little Zoom thing, Google Hangout. Well, we've been doing it on a Google Hangout lately. So I was like, no, go do whatever you want to do. And so then I just had like free time, and I was just like sitting there kind of like waiting for the literature group to start. And I was like, had been so productive yesterday that I was just kind of like hanging out and relaxing. And so Mel, hey Mel, how are you? Book club partner extraordinaire had texted me, and she was like, I love when cars are like that matte paint color, and that was like a Range Rover that was like matte black. It was beautiful. But Mel was like, have you seen this show on Hulu called Single Drunk Female? And I was like, I haven't even heard of this show. What are you talking about? She was like, it's about this girl that gets sober and goes to treatment and has a sponsor, and she's like, it talks a lot about recovery. So I was like, let me check out this show, because I've been watching Cheer. I still have one episode left of that documentary that Tanya and our friend told us to watch, and I just really, I know you guys are like, why finish it? Well, I feel like I've watched 2 out of the 3 episodes. I should finish it, but it's just so dark and sad, depressing and sad. So I have been watching Cheer, and I'm like, I think I'm like almost done with the 4th episode of Cheer. I watched some of it last night before Alex got home, when I was done with my literature group, and I was sitting there eating my dinner. I specifically did not bring water to the car today. Oh, it melted because I had this bottle of water out here. I think I got it one night when I was with Tanya, and she was getting a fountain pop, but I came out here and this was all full of ice. So anyway, I sat down on the bed with the dogs, and I watched, well, they only have the first 2 episodes of the show up. Single Drunk Female. It's on Freeform and Hulu. I watched it on Hulu. It is so good, you guys. I mean, I could not say enough to my friends in my literature group last night about how fantastic this show is. This show is, and I actually tweeted it out, and then they retweeted it, the show, and they also, and I shared it on my Instagram story, and they shared it on their Instagram story. I was so excited. I felt famous for a second. But it is about this girl, and she's like in her early 20s, and she lives in New York City, and she works for like this website, kind of like BuzzFeed, and she's drunk at work. Anyway, I don't want to tell you guys all the details, but she ends up having to go to treatment and getting sober, and she lives with her mom. She moves back in with her mom, who is Ali Sheedy from, you know, like the Breakfast Club days. I love Ali Sheedy. And when I tell you that this show is so accurate when it comes to recovery, especially early recovery, like, they have really, really nailed it. Like, I don't know who is on the show that is writing for it, that is in recovery, but I mean, it is like 100% accurate. It is like, the meetings are accurate, the way that they have it set up, the way that a sponsor would talk to you is accurate. There's this whole scene in there when she like has to come up with this money, and she's talking to her sponsor, and her sponsor's like, now my sponsor, like, her sponsor is really hardcore. My sponsor's not this hardcore, but she's like, I'm not your financial advisor. And she's like, but you're supposed to help me with this stuff. She says, no, I'm supposed to help you stay sober one day at a time. And she's like, but what do I do? And she's like, stay sober one day at a time. And she's like, I'm doing that. And she goes, see, I did my job. I mean, it's like, so, like, I mean, it really is how people talk in sobriety. And she's like, but so I should, then she's like, so I should borrow the money from my mom. And she goes, oh, I never said that. And she goes, well, what should I do? And she goes, I don't know, be a grown adult and come up with a solution on your own. I mean, it's really like what people, I mean, it really is. It's so true. And then there's this whole conversation that she and her mom have about alcoholism being a disease. And it's such a poignant moment, because I've had that conversation with so many people where you get to a point where you just don't fight it with people, you know? But they really personalize it in the show to explain, like, why a lot of people that are not alcoholics and addicts have an issue with it being called a disease, which I totally get, you know? And they even address the, like, dating and having sex in early sobriety, which is always interesting to me when I see movies or TV shows, because they usually are like, you know, when I was watching Grace and Frankie, like, Coyote, I think, he's in recovery in that show, and he, like, started dating somebody, like, real early, and, like, that would be so frowned upon in recovery. Like, I mean, somebody would say something to you if you started, like, dating somebody in early sobriety, or somebody had, especially if it was, like, somebody had a certain amount of sobriety and then started dating somebody that had a lot less sobriety. And that's kind of addressed in the show. The show is just so good, you guys. It is so good. And the main character, she is fantastic. She is fantastic. And, it even kind of addresses this whole idea of, like, the sponsor that she gets. I'm trying to be kind of ambiguous about this, but I could just tell you everything about the show, and it's only like 20 minutes an episode, but it's so good. The sponsor that she gets is kind of accomplished. And so, not kind of, I mean, she is an accomplished person, and so she's like, well, I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, I, know somebody that's wanting to hire at the grocery store. And she's like, oh, really? So I can get hired at the grocery store, and then I can get a Peabody and a house like this. And she's like, this didn't happen overnight. And I think there's that mentality, that people forget also, like, when, as alcoholics and addicts, that, one of the hardest things for us, especially in early sobriety, is this idea of we want it now, or this idea of we want what we want when we want it, and I think that goes along with being an addict and an alcoholic, where we have this need for that instantaneous, this instantaneous desire that we want our desires fulfilled immediately. And that's part of being an addict and an alcoholic. And then you get sober, and it's like, it's a waiting game. Like, things don't happen in 1 minute. I mean, things take time to happen. And, you don't just get sober overnight. You don't get your family's respect back overnight. You don't get a great job overnight. I mean, that stuff takes time, respect takes time to be earned. And, and I think it's great that they're showing it in this show. I'm super impressed with this show. I have to say, of all the shows I've seen, even including all of the movies, like, Clean and Sober is probably the most accurate movie I've ever seen about sobriety. 28 Days, yes, but there's a lot about 28 Days that I felt like was kind of for movie stuff. I don't know. There's a lot about 28 Days that's, like, not factual, but I still like the movie. I like any kind of, like, recovery movie or TV show. But, this is probably the first time I've ever seen, like, a TV show or a movie that is this accurate about what recovery is really like. Especially, like, she goes to several meetings a day because she's really struggling. And I love that they show it that way, because, I mean, that's really what it's like in early sobriety. I mean, I was going to a lot of meetings in early sobriety. Hell, 6 or 7 years ago when I came back in after not going to meetings for a long time, I was going to a lot of meetings. I was going to a minimum of 2 meetings a day. I was going to at noon and at 8 every single day. I will say this, it's interesting. There's also something about the show that makes me miss early sobriety a little bit. And I don't even really know how to explain it. It's, it's interesting because I've had a lot of friends of mine that I feel like there's, like, this year curse in sobriety. I've had quite a few friends that will get about a year, and I'm trying to drive down here as far as I can in the shadows of love, so that when I turn around that it'll all be, in the light, and you guys will be able to see me. I guess I should turn around and test it, because you may not even be able to see me then. But, yeah, maybe I should turn around up here. Where's my lip balm? But I have quite a few friends of mine that this is such a bad place to turn around right here. They actually just built a brand new McDonald's. Isn't that so funny? Like, where do you go that you see that they've built a great brand new McDonald's? Like, nowhere ever. Let me build one right here. I've had quite a few friends of mine that are coming up on a year, or they get a year sober, and then right around that time, they go back out. But only to like turn around and come right back in, which is fantastic, right? Like, I'm so happy that they did, but it's almost kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I think a lot of people almost kind of get addicted to like early sobriety, like what that feels like, of going to meetings and meeting new people, and your life is really totally all about staying sober. And there's kind of it's just a really good feeling, you know? I mean, over time what happens is you just have to learn how to stay. The light this way is bad too. The only good light is north-south, and it's like I can't just drive north-south forever, you know? I mean, I guess I could, but you know, there's just such an amazing feeling that comes with that early sobriety. And it's like every meeting that you go to, well, at least this is just my experience, every meeting that I went to felt like a spiritual experience. It's like, I can't even explain it to you right now. It's just like, as I'm telling this, it's like the excitement of me going to like some new meetings, you know, which that terrifies me, to go to meetings that I've never been to before and I don't know people, but I still do it. You know, like there's an excitement to that of like, who could I possibly meet, or what's that meeting gonna be like, or, you know, there's a feeling that comes with early sobriety. And also really about like just all your goal, and all you have to do is which is hard, but is about staying sober, and you get to focus like so much of your attention just on that. Even if you're working or repairing relationships, it's like your job at that time is to stay sober. Well, I mean, always going forward, obviously, but I don't know, it feels more specific in early sobriety. And I think people miss that sometimes. I think people like get sober for a while, and then, you know, they start getting jobs, and they start getting relationships and family and friends, and what happens is your sobriety has gotten you your life back to some degree, or gotten you a life if you didn't have one before, like me. Like, I mean, I got a completely different life, and it's kind of like you don't really know what to do, you know, and to some degree you kind of miss it. It's like, you know, before I got sober, my life was, well, before things got really bad drinking wise, I mean, my life was going out 4 nights, 5 nights a week, and living it up and being very social. When I got sober, my life was going to meetings. And then when I, you know, got a job, I was working, and I was working 7 to 3 or 8 to 4. Well, sometimes I work second. I think I worked second shift like that fall is maybe one, I can't remember, but you know, even then, like when I moved in with, well, that would have been after my first year, when my boyfriend and I and my best friend at the time, we moved into an apartment together. You know, my day looked like this. Like, I would go to work, and then I would come home, and I got home at like 11. I worked like 3 to 11. I would get up, and I would go to like a noon meeting, and then I would go to like I would work 3 to 11, and then I would come home, and then my ex, this was my first boyfriend, he worked room service at this hotel, so he didn't come home till like 3 or 4, and my roommate and I would go work out in the gym at the apartment complex. And sometimes, like, if it was warm, we would go swimming in the summer, and then we would come back and we would watch a movie and wait for him to come home, and then he would always bring us like cake or whatever from room service. He used to bring us like tiramisu and carrot cake and stuff, and chocolate cake, and then, I mean, that my life was very simple, you know, and it was a hard transition from partying I mean, there was a part of me that just was not used to it. I've really never thought of it this way, but you know, like my roommate at that time, who had been like one of my good friends when I was drinking, she and I used to party a lot together. When I got sober, she moved back here from Kansas. She had been living with her grandfather in Kansas, and then, well, she didn't move back here immediately when I got sober, but like when we got that apartment, she moved. Oh, well, it was before then, because she lived with these girls before that. She moved back here and moved in with these girls, and then she moved in with them. We got this apartment together. And her life changed too. I mean, she was working like at a company during the day, and then like a couple days a week, part-time, she worked at Gold's Gym. And she really was into working out and stuff like that. And I think like if I hadn't had her right there, like that person that had been my friend, part of that whole scene, and she and I still have that social quality, because I didn't have a lot of friends in early sobriety. I just didn't. Like, I've talked about that on here before, you know. I didn't have a lot of people that I went to meetings with and stuff that I was super close with. It was a different, you know, today in sobriety, not necessarily the meeting that I go to. The meeting that I go to, there's a lot of, it's an older crowd. This car next to me is a Maserati, and I feel like it looks like just like a Ford or something. It's like so plain looking. I'm like, how much did you pay for this car to... I mean, I know that that's not why people buy a Maserati. It's because of how it looks. Or is it? I don't know. But there are meetings in Indianapolis that are like completely focused just for like younger people, and or that a lot of younger people go to, that you could go there and 50% to 80% of the group would be under 30. You know, that was not the case when I got sober. I mean, we stuck out like a sore thumb if we were under 30 and we were sober. I mean, truly we did. Not that I may think it matters. I mean, I'm here, you know, and I hung out with people that were older, but like I said, I didn't have a lot of close friends in early sobriety, and it was really, really hard. I also, when I got sober, for like my first 6 months, one of my dearest friends, one of my best friends that I had drank with, well, I've talked about this, but she called me in treatment on New Year's Eve, and she was drunk. And and it was such a big deal to her. Her sobriety birth date is actually January 1st. So our first 6 months together, even though she was working a full-time job still, she and we went to meetings every night together. We kept each other company. I mean, we were really each other's like support network. We had sponsors and stuff, but we were each other's support network. And so, we went to meetings, I mean, literally like every night together, and that really was helpful. And then she ended up going to graduate school out of state. She went to graduate school in Arizona for business. And so she moved, and I can remember feeling very, very alone. Like, I did not know how I was going to handle it. But, you know, you do the deal. Watching that show last night, but watching that show last night, it really reminded me of early sobriety, and kind of it made me like, I don't know, there was aspects of it that, like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't want to go back and be in early sobriety again. I mean, I don't want to have to, like, you know, relapse to be there. It's not worth it to me. But it's not like I can't have those things today. You know, it's not like I can't, like, try a bunch of new meetings and meet new people and whatever, you know, and have that aspect. Like I was talking about, like going to Florida, you know, it's like, and meeting new people and going to new groups and new meetings and stuff like that. Like, that is exciting to me, you know. So, It's not like I can't have certain, it stopped. But it's not like I can't, you know, have certain aspects of that while being where I'm at today. I don't know, it's really good. You guys should watch it. So yeah, that's what I did. And then we had our literature group last night. Our literature group was great. There was only 4 of us in there because one of our friends is out of town. But we went over like 15 minutes. We only read a couple pages too. Each person shared like real deep last night. It was really good. I got a lot out of it. I've just been in a really peaceful state of mind lately. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's winter or I don't know what it is. Did I tell you that we got some snow yesterday? Oh yeah, I did. And then woke up this morning and it was like icing, freezing cold outside. I was like, oh my gosh. Not like icing, like sleet. It was like the car was covered like in ice. I was like, this is too much. Tonight, tonight I have my meeting, and a friend of ours from back in the day is gonna go with us. We haven't seen in a couple years, and I think I'm gonna try to, like, as soon as I drop off Tanya Jean tonight, like after the meeting and stuff, I think I'm gonna try to vlog right then, and then be done, and then maybe listen to my audiobook for like an hour. So if I drop off Tanya by like 10:30, and I vlog from like 10:30 to 11:30, and I listen to my audiobook till like 12:30, if I'm in bed by like 12:30 or 1, then that's like a full night's sleep that I can get again. I just would like to continue to do that. You know, like I was going to do that last week. Was it last week that I said I was going to do it? And I did it like 1-2 nights. And then I want to keep it up because I am getting like, I feel like I'm getting a lot done. And I'm being able to enjoy the day more because I am done like by 3 or 4. And I don't feel rushed doing stuff. Like, you know, in the past, like, I mean, there have been sometimes, you guys, where I haven't even sat down to film video 1 by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then, you know, Alex gets home between 6 and 7. And it's like I'm rushing to get all this stuff done. And it's not enjoyable. And so, I want to have fun while I'm doing the videos, you know? And so it's been like nice to be able to get up and not feel super rushed and take my time with the videos and whatever. I mean, I was kind of surprised, like I got home yesterday and I was like I'm almost done with all of my videos. By the time that I had, you know, gotten home, I was like, well, I have my vlog done, I have my review video done, I have my booktube video done, and I have my Peter Does Stuff video done. See, here's a Malibu, and it looks to me just exactly like the Maserati. So I guess the lesson is just get a Malibu instead of a Maserati. Save your money. Oh, Lord. Thank you. I appreciate it. I haven't started a new audiobook yet. I have the third book in the Blake Crouch series that I was reading to read. And it's like 2 hours or 2.5 hours long, which listening as fast as I do, I'll have it like I'll be able to listen to it like in less than an hour. So I need to listen to that, and then I need to get on to the book club books because I'm down to the wire here with the book club books and I haven't listened to any of them and it's the last week. So I need to listen to them. I'll get it done. Oh, man. The little dogs were so sweet. And this morning, Alex got up and he was like taking them out. And it was so funny because like Boo Radley was like sleeping like right here next to me, like curled up real tight. And like when Alex got up, I noticed like Boo Radley like popped his head up because I could feel it, but like he didn't move. He just like sat there for a second. And then Alex like opened the bedroom door and like Boo Radley like ran down. He was so excited. And now what he's doing is, when is this Krispy Kreme Donuts opening? Like, seriously. I mean, I feel like, here it is. You guys want to see it? This is our brand new Krispy Kreme Donuts. I feel like it has been opening forever. What's so funny is, Alex takes the dogs out, and then Boo Radley runs right back upstairs now. Like, he just wants to come right back upstairs. And Alex is like, Boo, you need to go to your house. We call it the house. And he just like looks at him. What is this? Homestyle mac and cheese at Popeyes. Have I done that review yet? I might have to do that review today. And he runs upstairs, and then he like halfway up the stairs, he like stops and he like looks at Alex like, what are you talking about? Alex is like, Boo, let's go. You need to go to your house. And he just like stops and looks at him like, we're not going back to the bed? Like he wants to go back to the bed so bad and go back to sleep. I'm like, I feel you, dog. Oh my I cannot get the heat figured out in here. It's 70 degrees, but it feels like it is 400 degrees. Well, maybe if I get my videos done early today, I'll listen to Slouching Towards Bethlehem and I'll just save that third Blake Crouch book. I feel like I want to listen to it because I want to find out what happens in the series. But maybe I'll just listen to Slouching Towards Bethlehem. I mean, it's only like 2.5 hours long, 2 hours. And, well, I mean, the book isn't. The book is like 6 hours and something, but at 2 times 5 speed, which is what I listen to, it'll be like less than 3 hours. I think it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. I could drive around and listen to a major part of that today. I have such a hard time sitting at home and listening to audiobooks. Like, I was trying last night, like while I was doing stuff in the bathroom, I was like trying to like listen to my audiobook. I try to do that sometimes, and I get so distracted. Like when I drive, I can just like I just like get lost in the story, and like, you know, I can pay attention to where I'm going and whatever, but like I can just focus completely on the story. But when I'm like at home listening to it, like I get completely distracted. Like I'm like digging in a drawer, and then I'm like, what did they say? What were they saying? And I'm completely like lost. So I'm like, yeah. can't listen to the audiobook sitting at home. I wish I could. I'm reading this book by J.T. Leroy at home, and it's called Harold's End. And J.T. Leroy is who wrote Sarah and The Heart is Deceitful, among all things. Remember I was talking about J.T. Leroy and that whole scam, and they made the documentary about her and everything? Okay, so this is the only book of J.T. Leroy's that I have not read. There, look, it's finally better. And it's called Harold's End. And it's about a bunch of, like, street hustlers. But it's not really about that. It's about, they each of them have these pets. It's so bizarre, you guys. It's like 100 pages long. They each have a pet. Like, one has a snake, and one has a rat. And they're all heroin addicts. And so this one goes and he stays with this guy that's like giving him like clean heroin, but then he wants to give him a pet as well, so he gives him this snail, which this guy ends up calling Harold. You guys, this book is so weird. I'm like, I don't even want to finish it. I don't even want to finish it. I like can't. I'm like halfway through it, and I'm more than halfway through it. I'm like probably. I mean, if I actually sat down and read it, because like there's like pictures in it. There's like drawn pictures in it, which the pictures are beautiful, but I'm like probably on page 60 or 75. I would have had it done like days ago, but I read 2 pages and I'm like, puke. It's so bad. And I was like reading the reviews on Goodreads, and the reviews are so bad, you guys. I mean, they're so bad. I rarely read reviews that are this bad. I think the last time I read reviews that were this bad was like on Gabby Hanna's poetry books. It is really, really bad. So, I don't know that I would recommend Harold's End. I want to get some more graphic novels that are really good. If anybody has any recommendations, let me know. I love the Heartbreaker series by Alice Oseman, but like I just tear through them. Like I finished the last one that just came out, Heartbreaker 4. I finished it like in 2 or 3 days, and it was great, and I loved it. I actually need to get online today and see if I can find a couple of graphic novels that are really good. I've read some really good ones in the last year. You Gave Me the Ocean was really good, but it was like superhero-ish. I don't get into that stuff at all. In fact, Alex and I, when we went to go see Scream this weekend, there was an ad for Batman, like this new Batman that's coming out. It's just called Batman. And Alex is like, that looks so good. And I go, really? Like, you think so? And he goes, yeah, wouldn't you want to go see that? And I go, no, I have no desire to see that. It just looks like the same Batman story to me. And I feel like you either have, like I said something in some video about DC versus Marvel, and people were like, oh, that's DC, not Marvel, or whatever, you know? And I'm like, I do not know the difference. My husband would know. He watches all of that. I don't know anything about all that. I don't care about any of all that kind of stuff. I mean, the closest to any kind of comic book that I ever got was Archie. I actually have an Archie comic book in my basement because in this box, because I thought it was going to be worth something someday. It's not. It's worth like 25 cents. But, so, and I did watch Riverdale for a while. I watched Riverdale for a while. All these people, you guys, it kills me. I was looking at Justin Anderson's, Instagram story, and he was like, I binge watched Euphoria season 1 on Saturday, and now I'm caught up with season 2. I'm like, what do these people do? Like, I know so many of you guys binge watch TV series. My husband does it. Do you guys not have jobs? Like, do you guys not do things during the day? Like, how do you binge watch this church that is like literally taking over Indianapolis, there was just a sign right there that said it's coming, this new location is coming here. And they have this huge warehouse off the interstate that's their church. I-Town Church in Indianapolis, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I have actually quite a few friends that go there. But it just said location coming here or something, like new, or it said coming here soon or something. I think they just sit in a room and look at TV screens. No, my one friend that goes to it, she was like, oh my God, the Christmas service was amazing. And I was like, really? What was it like? And so she like showed this video, and it was like all these laser lights and stuff going everywhere, and it was like, go tell it on the mountain. It was like this rock concert for Jesus or something. I was like, oh Lord, like I like a little bit more peaceful service than that. She was like, yeah, but she's like, it really gets you pumping and all this kind of stuff. I was like, okay. So anyway, what was I saying? I would love to binge watch a series. I just do not, I mean, even if it's like, that's what you do in your downtime, I totally get it, right? Like, I listen to an audiobook for 3 or 4 hours, but I understand that people want to watch their shows like Alex does and, you know, whatever. Tanya does. You guys, I sit there and I watch 2 episodes of Cheer. Oh, okay, the battery just went down. So that was like at 46 minutes this time. So that's not bad. This battery is doing pretty good. So I watched like 2 episodes of Cheer, and I'm like, I can't sit in this chair any longer. I have to get up and do something. I do not understand how people, and you know what is so crazy about it is that there have been times, like when Alex and I watched Making a Murderer, that we sat there and watched the entire thing back to back, right? In one weekend, in one setting. Like, I can remember we kept on going, one more episode. My ex, back in the day, before Netflix, we would go to Best Buy and we would buy like The Amazing Race. Well, that's how we got started on Lost, because we bought the whole first season of Lost to get, I think we got the first 2 seasons of Lost to get caught up. And we would binge watch a series over a weekend. Do you guys remember that, when you could go buy the DVD set? You probably still can, but you could buy the DVD set. Well, we would do them of like reality shows. So we would buy like America's Next Top Model or Amazing Race. We did like 1 or 2 seasons of that. And then we would binge watch the series. And we had so much fun doing it. And we would do it like over the course of a weekend. We would just get a bunch of bad food and just sit around the house, and we would just binge watch these shows. I actually missed that. And I said to Alex the other day, I said, we should do that with like Project Runway. And he was like, we're like 4 seasons behind. We could like do like 4 seasons of Project Runway, which I would absolutely love. I love Project Runway, right? And I was like, yeah, we should do that. Why shouldn't, let's do it. And he was like, okay, let's do it. But then we never do. And I don't know, like, I just, whenever, like last night, like watching those 2 episodes back to back, which were 20 minutes each, right? Like, I got so excited being like in the show and in the know. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I got so excited like watching the show. I was like, this just really makes me happy. And I want to do more of this. I want to watch more shows. But then, did I tell you guys all the shows that I have written down to watch? Hold on a second, I'll pull in here. And I'll read you guys my shows. And then you guys can tell me what other shows I need to watch. Because I have a list of TV shows. And this isn't even everything, because I have things on my Netflix on my list. Well, I'll read you my list. Oh my God, you guys. This van is still here. Look. They need to come and deal with that van. What's the story? Okay. I was like trying to park where it wasn't like the sun wouldn't be horrible. First time seeing my eyes. Hi, how are you? Okay, my list. TV shows. Are you ready? Did I read this on here the other day? I'm gonna read it again. Okay. La Brea, I really want to watch that. Clickbait, Cruel Summer, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond, Love Victor, second season, because I've already seen the first season. Midnight Mass, Squid Game, which they renewed for a second season. The Servant, on Apple TV, Yellow Jackets, Dope Sick, Cheer, Archive 81, Stay Close, Grace and Frankie, I have the last season to watch. Ozark, Monster in the Shadows, which I'm watching right now. I have one more episode to watch. Manifest, Black Summer, Harlan Coben's Safe on Netflix, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, the movie, Beanie Mania, the documentary, Euphoria, and Paradise Hills. Those are the shows that I have to watch, okay? Now let me go to my list on Netflix. Oh, I really want to see The Lost Daughter with Olivia Colman. It's on my list. I really want to see it. How do you get to your list? Coming soon. I thought this was a joke. But there really is a new show coming out called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. I thought it was a joke, and there really is. It's coming out. Murderville. Inventing Anna. Oh my God, this is that. They made a movie about that horrible book that we read about, that Anna Delvey. Oh my God. There's some good stuff coming out. A new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Is this a series? Looks like a series. Okay, how do you get into your list? Do you know? Here it is, my list. Okay. Ozark, Archive 81, The Unforgivable, Stay Close. I don't know why I have Schitt's Creek on here. That Boogeyman movie about Eileen Wuornos. Tick, Tick, Boom. You. Oh, You's on my list. I need to put You on my list. Hold on a second. Can you believe I haven't seen You? My husband loves that show. Afterlife, Squid Game, Manifest, Orange is the New Black. Well, it's over now. The Movie Passing, Midnight Mass, The Lost Daughter, Clickbait, The Power of the Dog movie, Riverdale, Monsters Inside, Sweet Magnolias, Bridgerton, On My Block, Safe, Red Notice, Unsolved Mysteries, Dawson's Creek. I used to love that back in the day. I said I was going to start watching it again. The Good Place. You guys, The Good Place is such a great show. Trials of Gabrielle Fernandez, Jenny and Georgia, Wentworth. It's over. 13 Reasons Why. It's over. Cheer, The 100, Blood Red Sky, The Ranch. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Okay. And then, let's see my HBO Max. Do I have a list over here? The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Beware the Slender Man, Class Action Park, Breathless, I Love You Now Die, Perry Mason, Lovecraft Country. It didn't get remade though, so I'm not going to watch that. I Know This Much Is True with Mark Ruffalo. I think he is so hubba hubba. Sharp Objects, Mosaic, The Lady and the Dale, Search Party, The Little Things, The Witches, The Flight Attendant. I read that book in Underwater. And then, I think that's it. What is it doing? And then Hulu. My stuff on Hulu. Okay. Dope Sick, Van Dutch, City of Angels, The Last Man, I'm not gonna watch that unless it gets picked up and renewed because it got canceled. La Brea, Cruel Summer, Looking for Alaska, The Handmaid's Tale. I still have season 2. Little Fires Everywhere. I read that book. I was not blown away. And Only Murders in the Building. So those are all my shows I have to watch. What are other shows that you guys think I should watch? As if those aren't enough. As if those aren't enough. What other shows do you think I should watch? Put it in the comment section below. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here now. Excuse me, and I am going to figure out what I'm gonna do a review video for today. I think I'm gonna do, if I haven't done the macaroni and cheese from Popeyes, I think I'm gonna do that. If I have, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for my Peter Does Stuff video. I might go walk around Richie Woods for a second because I'm feeling so peaceful this morning. So I might do that this morning. We'll see. Anyway, happy Tuesday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I can't believe Dollar Tree isn't even open yet. I am like out in the world and Dollar Tree is not even open yet. It looks kind of like it's closed down or something. Is Dollar Tree closed down? Oh, say it ain't so. We are closed. We will be closed January 20th through March 31st for remodeling. Can't wait to see you March 31st. Oh. Anyway. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Tuesday. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Happy birthday, Lena. Bye. Bye. Love ya.